Hey guys! Today I kind of wanted to see about doing a vlog about particular games, and I was going to pick one game at a time to talk about. Now before I go into the first game, I'm going to be completely honest with you. All this stuff is coming off the top of my head, so I probably couldn't tell you half the actual specs about the game, but I'm really just talking about my general experiences with it. So, the first game is a running with scissors classic called Postal 2. If you've never heard of this game, I do suggest you look it up. It is a bit older, at least for this type of game. Running with Scissors put out the first Postal, which I believe was like an 8-bit sort of thing. It wasn't kind of a cult classic series, because there is actually a Postal 3, which I have played a very little bit of. It follows the events of Postal 2, and I just haven't gotten too far in Postal 3 yet to say, to have much of an opinion on it. So, but Postal 2 I have played for years. I had it on my old MacBook back in like '09, and I played it quite a lot because it was a really good, it still is a really good way to kind of release your rage. Postal 2 is a sort of, I would call it a free play RPG sort of game, because essentially what you do is you're playing as the postal dude, who is a disgruntled ex-postal worker who moves to a city called Paradise, and tiny town, kind of white trashy sort of, gets a job at where else, Running with Scissors, and he is just, this sarcastic asshole type. So funny, some of the stuff that he says, but, so irreverent. Definitely not a kid's game. But just the whole concept of this game, where you can pick up things to hit people with or shoot people with, yeah, okay. I can be extremely sadistic about this game. I really, really can. I can be terrible and horrible and no good and very bad. But the whole point of this game is to get chores done. Certain chores like getting milk, picking up your paycheck, cashing your paycheck. That's at least the first day out of 5 days, although the recent pack has the weekend as well, so you'd have the 7 days in Paradise, or a week in Paradise. So you get certain things done in the week, and on the weekend it's the apocalypse, so you have to survive the apocalypse with various crazy stuff going on. The thing that kind of sets this game apart is that, yes, there's a lot of games like GTA, for example, which I really haven't played, though I plan on playing it at some point, where you can pretty much, kill and, hit people and do all kinds of crazy stuff. But the reason that this one kind of gets me is it's kind of a personal level. You're facing the person, they have all sorts of, generated characters. And what I like to do, if I'm mad at some particular person, I will, in my mind, paste that person's face on the generated character while I'm doing terrible things to them. So, in the original game, you had some basic stuff. You had, a pistol, and, there was a shotgun and a shovel you could hit people with, which, if you aimed it correctly and hit correctly, it could chop off a person's head. Just general ridiculous things like that. And later you have things like a diseased cow's head, and which you could shoot from a distance and cause pestilence. And shears, a butterfly knife, all kinds of things, and some of them just caused more sadistic hilarity than others. Take the It's like a can of Axe almost, except it's not called Axe, with a lighter, and you literally light the spray as you're spraying it, and it just creates fire, lots of flames. And, you know, I might be a horrible person for actually enjoying it and enjoying the crazy screaming that comes from lighting someone on fire, but it really is cathartic. I don't know how else to put it. It is a very cathartic game, because I've had times when I just can't contain the rage, and you know, I yell, and you know, that part of me is a pretty ugly part of me that I don't like to release. So it's much easier for me to let it out in a game and just let it kind of roll out of me as I play this game. It is much better to shoot in the head an AI character than it is to do it in real life, because that's not the kind of person that I am or ever want to become in real life. You know, generally Postal 2, you know, I'm pretty sure that the people who put the work into it, and you know, if you guys are watching this, that's awesome. It's a freaking fantastic game, and I love it. But you know, it's generally not on par with a game like GTA or whatever, but it's got a real cult following. You know, you actually have people, you know, writing stories about Postal 2 and, you know, doing the online gaming, because there's also a multiplayer for Postal 2 called Share the Pain. You know, maybe once I actually get a little farther in Postal 3, I can vlog about it, but for the most part, you know, I don't have much to say on it yet, because, you know, can't have an opinion if you don't play it through, right? But I have played Postal 2 through too many times to count. I have done too many ridiculously, horrifyingly funny things to count, and, you know, just, I love this game. It is horrible at times, but I love this game. You know, and I mean, you can call me a horrible person for enjoying such a ridiculously sadistic, violent game, but, you know, just put it this way, you know, I'm an adult. I'm 27 years old. At this point in my life, I've seen real violence, and I've seen real cruelty, you know, and because of that, I have a lot of, you know, stuff going on up here that, you know, really messes you up. And if I can release some of that messed up feeling into a game where I can't actually hurt anyone in real life, well, I'm good. And that's really what I gotta say about Postal 2. Play it if you haven't played it. It's on Steam. Enjoy it. Next time, I think I'm going to be talking about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, because other than that and a few other games that I've played on the 360, there's not a whole lot of games that I can review that I like.